Welcome to part 2 of our discussion about cognitive restructuring and cognitive diffusion. Last week, we went over the first 3 steps on how to conduct a cognitive restructuring process. Those steps were identifying the situation, identifying the feeling, and identifying the thought. Now that we've caught up, let's look at the final 2 steps to complete the process. Step 4 is to evaluate the thought. Evaluate the accuracy of your upsetting thought as carefully and as objectively as possible. To do this, first think of all the evidence that you have that supports your thoughts or makes you think that it's accurate. For example, for the thought, I'm angry because I was assured what I asked for could be completed in time. And now that it's time to present the solution, the person didn't deliver on their word, making the team look incompetent. The person could ask, why did I not check to ensure the progress? And why do I assume that the team will look incompetent? Because of this one instance. And if the presentation wasn't perfect, why do I think that it will detract from our credibility? Write down all of the evidence on a worksheet. Then think of all the evidence you can that doesn't support your thought or suggest that it may not be accurate. Consider as many reasons as possible why your thought may not be correct. Then write down all the evidence against it on paper. One way to help you come up with evidence against your thought is to go back to step number 3 and examine whether you decided the thought might be a problematic thinking style. These include the all or nothing, overgeneralization, must, should, or never statements, catastrophizing, emotional reasoning. Emotional reasoning happens when what you feel determines what you think. Although it is important to pay attention to how you feel, your feelings can deceive you. If you're anxious most of the time, your feelings are most certainly lying to you. For example, I'm very anxious right now and therefore I'm going to lose control and go crazy. Try Googling problematic thinking styles and that will help you learn more about these. My purpose here is not to give you an in-depth lesson, as that would take a long time, but rather to expose your curiosity to what's available to help you. If you circled more than one specific problematic thinking style, then it means that you believe the thought may be inaccurate, and you can ask yourself why. Step 5, make a decision. Decide whether your thought is accurate based on all the evidence that you listed in step 4. And then take action based on that decision. When thinking about the evidence for and against the accuracy of your thought, you should place greatest weight on strong evidence that's objective and based on facts, and give less attention to weak evidence based only on feelings and beliefs. Being objective when evaluating your thoughts is important, since you want your understanding of the situation to be as accurate as possible, so that any actions you take are informed and effective. When trying to be objective, think of yourself as a scientist who is evaluating the evidence supporting the effectiveness of a new treatment and is primarily interested in objective facts. Or think of yourself as a lawyer presenting the evidence for or against a case to an impartial jury based on the facts. Then take this 4-step action plan. Firstly, define the problem. Secondly, brainstorm possible solutions and select the best ones. Third, make a plan to implement the selected solutions. Fourth, follow the plan and set a time to follow up whether it was implemented successfully. In some situations, You might first go through the 5 steps of cognitive restructuring and conclude that an unsettling thought was actually inaccurate, and come up with a new direction, more accurate thought that's less upsetting, but yet it still might be distressing. In this case, you can develop an action plan to deal with the distressing situation. Thus, in some situations, you may need to be both correct and inaccurate thinking to make more accurate and create an action plan to address a genuine problem. How does this all relate to resilience? Now, you may be wondering, how does mastering your thoughts relate to resilience? Well, consider resilience as our capacity to bounce back from adversity. By honing our ability to manage our thoughts, we equip ourselves with a powerful tool for navigating life's challenges with grace and resilience. We become more adaptable, more resourceful, and better prepared to thrive amidst adversity. For those who've seen my talk, I always go on about tapping and evolving. You can do that with ideas and your behaviors, but you can also tap into your thoughts and evolve from them. This concept is even more powerful because you know your thoughts determine your actions. Here's a thought to help you get into the habit. Have you noticed when kids are trying to solve difficult problems, so much so they tap their heads to see if the answer comes out? Well, when you get yourself into these negative thoughts, maybe lightly tap your head a few times as a reminder to tap and evolve. So next time you find yourself grappling with stress at work or in life in general, remember this: you have the power to shape your thoughts. Until next time, stay mindful and stay resilient. I'm David Lindsay, the Integrated Health and Vitality Expert, signing off.